And now, through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future, Transformers Slag Podcast.
Wait, that's starting now? I literally ran here. Ugh. How we all doing this Saturday night? We're back to Saturday nights. Getting everything ready here. Literally putting everything together at the last second. First live stream of 2023. How we all doing? My name's Proto Man. This is the Transformers Slag Podcast. Saturday night live stream main event. Good to see all the people here. Again, my name is Proto Man. This is the face that runs this place. This is the voice that you hear Monday to Friday. And we're doing the Transformers Slag Podcast live stream. Hope the audio is good. Hope everything is good now. Had to do some tweaking and tuning and everything. We were very busy this weekend working with all kinds of other stuff in relation to the pod. Good to see some YouTube names and some Patreon names. Prince and Phalanx 59, Michael Koo is here, Mike Rosen. I see some Patreon people like JC Red Lion and Trevor's here, Trevor Stasic. I feel like I'm missing somebody here also, but either way, how we all doing? How we all doing? We're going to talk Transformers today. This is again our first stream of 2022. So we're going to talk some news, some new updates, little things here and there that I didn't talk about this week, some updates to previous news. Again, if you want full-fledged segments of what we talk about today in the past archive of the past week, we have a whole bunch of stuff that we talked about in the Transformer world. And wearing one of the best Transformer shirts. Yeah, that's a Symbiote Studios, me Grimlock, Want to Munch Metal shirt. Love that shirt. He's one of my favorites. I like the Catnip Bravo Convoy one too. That one's pretty good also. If you notice, I wear that one a lot more whenever I get the chance. But yeah, so we're going to talk some news. Also, apparently I got a little present in the mail. So we're going to open that one up. And as well as I got a, seriously, since last year, which hasn't been very long, but since last year, I got a whole bunch of stuff sent to me in the mail. And yeah, I know it's not 2022, it's 2023. Got to get that lingo ready in my mind. Always got to get used to that. When I was a kid, I used to always, especially in the 90s, I had to retrain my brain to put the right date whenever it flipped over. T-Formers 2002 is wearing it also. They're very comfy, aren't they? You know what I like? I just want to just break away for a second. I like t-shirts that the stuff on it isn't like a print. It's actually in the fabric, because there's so many shirts that I've bought in the past that are really nice, but then you wash them once, and because it's a print on there, it just falls apart. Actually, that happened to a TFCon t-shirt one year. That was a disaster. Forget which TFCon it was. One of the years the TFCon shirts, after you washed it once, it just completely disappeared. And a lot of people were complaining. I forget which year that was. That was 2012, 2011. It was many years ago. Either way. Yeah, I know, JR Mina. How you doing, JR Mina from the Philippines? Looks like a Funko. Really does. But we will see. We will see. We're going to crack open a bunch of stuff. Michael Butcher is here. A lot of good stuff today. Grimluck Customs, one of my patrons, is here too. Nice full house today. A lot of people. A lot of people. Yeah, that's some good advice, JC Redline. You always got to wash it inside out to preserve your shirts. But I find the ones that are printed, they always damage more, and the ones that are it's actually in the fabric, I guess it's called silk screening. I forget what the term is. My friend Goober used to do that. But pretty cool. I like them. We'll talk more about Symbiote Studios today. You know how it is. So let's jump into some news, some stuff that I didn't talk about this week, some stuff that I did talk about this week, but we got little updates and little things that we've been talking about here and there behind the scenes. So we'll see what happens with that. We already have a super chat out of the bat. It's probably going to pop up here any second. Any moment, I'm going to spawn it into being. Come on, any moment. It's always delayed on on Streamlabs. Either way, and it's going to cut me off when I'm going to be talking any moment. Anyways, Grimlock Customs wants to know for the $5 super chat: has there ever been a what if story about Beast Wars Megatron succeeding and destroying the G1 Optimus? There never was a what if story. The closest we have to a what if story is those couple of seconds where he actually put the time flux into craziness and say goodbye to the universe, Maximals. The future has changed. Yes, the Autobots lose. Evil triumphs. And there it goes. And you no longer exist. The closest thing we ever got to what ifs in Transformers, both were related to the '86 movie. Um, you had stuff like Transformers Deviations, which is a terrible comic that IDW put out, which I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing, that book. It actually killed the Deviations line because it sold so poorly and got such a bad reception. And then you got the original Transformers 1986 movie book adaptation, which kind of gave you a what if of what if Optimus Prime, what if Hot Rod didn't interfere in the battle with Optimus and Megatron? And guess what? Optimus still died. Didn't make a difference. It was Optimus's talking that actually did him in, not Hot Rod interfering. You know. And now plead for it. I thought you were made of sterner stuff, and still he got shot, so it didn't make a difference. But let's jump into some news. Let's jump into some news. Oh, Horned Owl's here too. Tom Laney, Roman Schilling. Everyone is rolling in. It's going to be a good day today. It's going to be a good day. So, first piece of news, let's jump into it, shall we? First piece of news is some Transformers Authentics news. I didn't talk about it this week because I wanted to get a little more information on it because I didn't know where it was found, if it was stolen or not. This was actually found in Taiwan, same location where the Authentics Optimus Primal was found, which we'll talk about in the next coming slides. And so the alpha price point with these Authentics, first of all, if you're unfamiliar with what Transformers Authentics are, is Hasbro kind of did this initiative a couple of years ago where they started realizing that a lot of the lower, I guess we'll call it, income countries around the world, some of them in South America, some of them in the Pacific Rim, um, they wanted for them to be able to engage with Transformers without having to go about it in a bootleg kind of scenario. There's a lot of bootlegs of Transformers that come out of South America, out of Mexico, and especially from the Pacific Rim. And so they wanted to create product that's official product that might be low cost to manufacture and as a result, low cost to sell. And as a result, people can engage with it because they won't be too expensive. And that's what the Authentics line really was. As Westerner people, we see them in Dollar Tree, we see them in Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollarama here in Canada. It's probably the best example. Once in a while, they pop up in a Walmart or something, but they really are low cost Transformers for lower income people that still want to engage with those key characters. And Starscream has been added to that essentially. And so, oh, Ring of Doom is here too. A lot of people are here today. Jeez, good stuff. Good stuff. Um, but yeah, so it's one of these things where now Starscream is added to it, and the alpha price point here. I'm just going to show you some comparisons. So on the left we have the Bravo price point, which is 5 inches, $5 MSRP. Now, granted, that was 2021. I don't know if this price point has increased since then because there has been a price point increase across all the different segmentations of Hasbro brands. Maybe they kept this one cheap because, I mean, this whole line exists to be cheap. And I don't mean in quality, I mean in price. And then all the way on the right, which is the one we're talking about today, is the alpha price point at 7 inches. We don't have a price yet. The original MSRP on those were $10. And then, of course, in the center there, you got those Titan changers, which were the 11 to 12-inch ones at $15. These have always been very affordable and very simplistic in transformation, usually 3 paint applications. But again, it's something that if you want to have something that's a sturdy toy, that's not too expensive, but you could give to someone who, can't afford Transformers, or it's a cheap present, or it's great for kids even, just a good way to kind of start Transformers for people. Because let's be real, a lot of our Transformers today are getting a little pricey, getting a little expensive, and it's always good to have options. Ron Diaz said he picked up the RC and it's pretty good. Yeah, they did an RC that looked really good, and it was like the first time in a while that we had an RC that wasn't like a shell former. Like they actually used the car bits to make like the car mode. Looks really good. Looks good. See, and same thing. Abraham says the same thing. The RC seems to be a winner with people, and again, a way for people to engage with the brand and not have to break the bank, which is very important. Which is ridiculously important. Again, and a reminder, people, if you want to participate, if you're not a green name on the right here, you could always hit that super chat button down there and engage also with the live stream today. Sorry if I'm a little in the throat. I literally just ate before we came here today and got a little bit of MSG stuck in me. Had some Japanese pork buns before we got started. Good stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. They look really good, but again, that's kind of what it is. And here's some examples of some of the past ones we had for a while. So again, on the left there is that Bravo price point, the 5-inch. You got like Optimus, and so again, key characters. And we're going to see a certain new key character that's going to be added to this in a moment. But again, you see them all here. There's other ones that are coming. They did movie ones at some point too. Welcome Andy Davis to the Minicon recruits. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, it is what it is, but pretty cool stuff. So again, we're going to be getting a Starscream at some point. So keep an eye out for that if you want to get a Starscream for that someone in your life and not break the bank. But there's another one too. We got the Bravo Optimus Primal Authentic. So again, because we're going to be going into 2023 and it's going to be a Beast Wars year in a lot of different ways. It's just going to be one of those things where Optimus Primal is now going to be a key character in pop culture and on the big screen and on the small screen as a result of it. So, pretty hype stuff. The Primal looks really good, in my opinion. Looks really, really good. Even like the articulation and stuff, like, yeah, sure, it's missing a few paint apps. It's, that's the whole thing. They have enough budget for like 3 paint apps, something on the face, something, with like blue on in certain areas like the chest and the helmet, a little bit of red on the knees, and then that's it. Everything else is kind of molded in plastic and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, again, at the end of the day, it's something where it gives someone an opportunity to engage because let's be real, what's the other Optimus Primals you could buy off the shelves right now? The reissue is pretty pricey. The Voyager class from Kingdom was pretty pricey. So if, considering this is the Bravo price point, for like less than, after taxes, less than $7, you're able to get a nice, cool desk former monkey to have on your display here or to give to a family member or something or someone you want to get into Transformers. It's a good starting point. What's up, Larry? It's a good starting point. So I dig it. And again, just to compare, because we also have a Titan Changer one, which that one looks, that one's a different story. That one look how lanky that monkey looks. Like, gorillas are supposed to be known for being like fit. That one looks like someone who hasn't hit the gym in a very long time. So pretty nice though. Again, I dig the Bravo one. Looks really cool. I'm definitely going to find a way to pick that one up. Just like how I picked up the Rescue Bots, Primal and stuff. Like I love my Beast Wars stuff, so any representation of that, you gotta get your hands on it some way or some form. Then we got a listing, reissue stuff. I touched on it just like briefly in a Studio Series segment, but so we know about this Transformers Generations retro reissue line that's going with the new paint schemes and the closed boxes with the 1986 movie. We saw the Hot Rod, we saw the Starscream. Those ones have already hit retail and people started picking them up. And then, of course, we got the leaked images of this Hound that we have here. And this is the listing for the Hound, the Tra Gen Retro 4 per case Hound that's also going to be out there. But now we have a listing for a 4th one and we don't know who it is. No idea at all. Now, I mean, if we're doing this like Autobot, Decepticon flip-flop, then probably it will be a Decepticon. Who it'll be, we don't know. But so far, the price point has been pretty consistent. So it's probably not going to be something crazy big. It'll probably be in that like Autobot car, but still not bigger than a Seeker Jet kind of price point. And I mean, they could be anything really. If it's a Decepticon, I don't know. Maybe just repaint Soundwave again and make him like super show accurate colors instead of his dark blues. I don't know. That would be crazy though. I think a lot of people probably would eat that up if they did do it. I mean, the Starscream was received very well. That sold out very quickly when it went live after the Walmart Collector Con segment. So we could see, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Now that I think about it, sorry, I had to take a swig of water there. Now that I think about it, a Soundwave would sell very well. Would be, and I mean, they've done so many different repaints and retools and everything of Soundwave, but they never done that. So I could see that happening. But so that's something that's going to be coming in the near future. When we get more info on it, we'll probably do an individual segment on it and we'll break down the history of whatever that is. And speaking of breaking down the history, unless you caught this individual segment that I yammered on, the Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Crosscut. So we had a listing for this back in August. We knew this was coming, and now we have a absolutely massive repaint army now of that skids mold, and now Crosscut has joined that. No surprise, of course. Looks really good. Again, like I said in the individual segment, the only thing that kind of throws me off is the choice of red wheels, which is kind of bizarre because historically the character never had red wheels in its other iterations. And like, the original Diaclone one, the e-hobby version, the retail generations one, the masterpiece. So, some people say the red wheels are because of the gang molding with the fists or stuff like that. That's a possibility. I could agree with that. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, it still looks good. And it continues more, Evan and Mark wanting to do more Diaclone and Microman kind of homages. And hey, they get more action out of that skids mold, so that also works out well. Although technically it's the burnout mold because it has that burnout head sculpt on it. But I mean, I still think it looks great. I think it looks really cool. It's going to be part of the Legacy Evolution. Probably people are speculating this is going to be a Wave 3 item. So we'll definitely get it at some point this year before summer. But looks really good. I like it a lot. Looks really nice. I dig it. Any of those Diaclone ones always gets thumbs up from me because it says to me that Hasbro is willing to do the weird repaints. So that opens it up to a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Nothing is impossible if even Crosscut is on the floor. Now then, let's talk about some Rise of the Beast stuff that we got. So the first one we have here, what's up, Aaron? First one we have here is this Rise of the Beast car accident from the factory of a Studio Series Leader Class TF7 Oscar, aka Leader Class Scourge. Uh, Despite the fact that this image is leaked out, we have not gotten any better photos. This was clearly just stolen from the factory and then just took a quick photo, and that's that. I did a deep dive individual segment about this leak, showing some images and some little clips and stuff, really breaking down the figure. So if you want to learn more about this one, go check it out. I did it just a couple days ago, where I talk about the surface detail, the weapons included, like really trying to make sense of everything that we have from this one image. And I had a pretty good high res one to kind of play off of. So definitely go check that out if you want. And again, I'm pretty sure that it's the leader class because all the other Oscar listings that we've gotten up to this point don't match up with this because we got a power combiner, we got a battle changer, and then we got a smash changer. And none of those that we've seen thus far really represent those gimmicky kind of stuff. This really looks like a Studio Series item. And again, this one is going to be shipping in a case of two with Optimus Primal, which is going to be the other leader class of the Studio Series Rise of the Beast stuff. So pretty hype. Looks really good. Again, he's got that Terracon head sculpt, aka Tarn kind of look. So I really dig it, but we'll see more when we get some nicer image of it because he's going to be like the big bad in the movie. So a very important toy in the future that people are going to be pining for. And speaking of Rise of the Beast stuff that people are going to be probably pining for, Spots himself, let's talk about Cheetor. Now, this one here clearly comes from the main line, and I have a few theories on this. I'm probably going to talk about them today. I might as well. And then I'll repeat it again when an individual segment comes up more about this. So you'll probably be hearing this first for the first time here. But I have a theory. So first off, let's just talk about the toy itself, and then we'll get into the theory. So we have stuff here that is a Rise of the Beast Cheetor figure. Nice detail, again, really invoking that original season 1 character design right down to the way that the feet are done in the back. This is clearly going to indicate at least a little bit how the transformation might be. And I say might be because I don't know. I'll get into more afterwards. Anyways, so people were saying that it's a retool of the Kingdom Cheetor. That is not the case. It's more just if you've ever messed with any Cheetor toy between 1995 and today, you know that every Cheetor toy made between 1995 and today, with the exception of maybe, I don't know, the animated version, which was just a blur mold, they all transform more or less the same way and are going to have the same kind of shape and idea and detail and veneering and concept. It's like it's like any Autobot car that's shaped like Jazz or Prowl in a lot of ways. So they're not retools of each other. They're just very similar, if anything, and that is that. But at the end of the day, it is a very season 1 looking Cheetor when it's all said and done. And it's something where I have a theory, okay? And I'm going to pull up this other slide to my theory, okay? Which is I think that the mainline Beast Wars, Rise of the Beast product is going to have a design that's more leaning on homages to Beast Wars, because that's the mainline stuff. That's the stuff that's going to be targeting the casual audience. It's going to be a little cheaper than Studio Series, which aims at the more hardcore audience. And it's going to get people in to buy product that is familiar to them because they were probably kids when they were watching Beast Wars in the 90s, but at the same time still invoking a similar kind of detail and look at how the movie is. And that's why I look at the Air Razor at the top here. The one on the right is the mainline one, the one on the left is the Studio Series one. So if we look at the Cheetor screenshot here, doesn't look like the toy. Granted, this is the only screenshot we have of how he looks in the movie, but there's clearly something going on here with mainline. And I think that mainline Rise of the Beast really is, let's do toys that are slightly loyal, like a mishmash of, it's kind of like what they did with the Prime characters with Legacy. Let's do something that it's a fusion of the Rise of the Beast design with a sprinkling and flavor of what is Beast Wars and those designs. And considering it's mainline, and mainline is going to have a way bigger retail presence than Studio Series. Mainline stuff is going to be in your grocery stores. Mainline stuff is going to be available in the smaller retail chains, and even stuff like that, the Market 6 stuff that, Market 6 as a term doesn't really exist anymore, but in that similar vein of something like a Market 6. It's something where I could just see that they're doing that on purpose because someone who is disenfranchised with, let's not even say Transformers, but toys as a whole, that guy that you lost in the late 90s when Pokemon became popular. And then he started getting into video games and then stopped playing with toys and stopped caring about Transformers. And now he's 25 and he's walking in Walgreens, and then he remembers that yellow cheetah, and it's a very familiar looking yellow cheetah because it has those blues on the face and the right areas and the gut gun, and it'll probably be packaged in robot mode too. So they're going to go for that kind of angle. That's just my theory. And I just base it on the fact that the Air Razor is already kind of doing that. And considering how he doesn't look too much like how he looks in the movie here, I think I'm barking up the right tree. But I could be wrong. We will see. But that's just the way I'm going. That's just the way I'm going with that. Next up, we have another listing also. And we have a Transformers Bumblebee Studio Series Voyager class TF Alpha, which is Alpha is Optimus Prime. Uh, when it's Bumblebee Studio Series, that probably means Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series. So this is probably how they're going to find a way to put as much Studio Series movie product out without, clogging all the slots because there's only so many slots for a wave one that could be hitting shelves when the movie comes out. So using the buzzworthy Bumblebee line, you could also put a few more Studio Series stuff out there. There'll be Target exclusives. And this confirms that our movie Optimus will be Voyager class. And I mean, it doesn't surprise us because almost every movie Optimus has been Voyager class, unless it has a power armor or a trailer or something like that. We do know that, again, like I said before, our leader classes for Rise of the Beast will be Optimus Primal and Scourge. That means that's going to be a big monkey. He's going to be a big monkey in the movie, I guess. Big monk. But yeah, so that's another one we got here too. That's another one also just to add to that that's going to be part of it. And we'll see what happens with that. We also have, and I had another image here, but I didn't put it because I just didn't have time. But I recently got in the mail. I recently got in the mail from Wizards of the Coast the brand new Transformers Secret Layers were sent to me. Super fast, they sent it to me. So you got it's upside down. The Roll Out and Rise Up, the Optimus versus Megatron, and the One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall. Probably gonna open these up at some point. Maybe I'll do a video. I'm not too sure yet. But I wanted to announce that there's also going to be a secret card in every set, which is going to be the planet Cybertron. So if you're a player of Magic the Gathering, those sets, on top of the regular cards that you're promised, you also get a bonus card, which is the planet Cybertron, which is going to be a great card for Commander, if you know what I'm talking about, in Magic the Gathering. And that is that. So be sure to stay tuned for that to learn more about it. And pick up those cards at your local LGS, buy the singles, whatever you want to do. And that is that. So that's another thing, too, I wanted to talk about also. There's going to be more Magic the Gathering Transformer talk in the future. So stay tuned for that. If you're a Magic the Gathering fan, a lot of cool stuff going on. So let's get into some sponsorship stuff. We'll talk about. I got some stuff in the mail that I want to talk about because I got a lot of stuff, and I'm actually considering maybe saving it over the next couple of weeks because there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that I got in the mail. Michael Koo says if you get the foil secret layer, the Cybertron card will also be foil. Yeah. If you get the foil versions, all the cards will be foil. If you get the regular versions, all the cards will be regular. So it's good stuff. Really good stuff. If you're a Magic fan, it's a great time to be a Transformer fan and a Magic fan. For years, since the 90s, there would be people like selling custom Magic Transformer cards on eBay and back in the day. And it would only be a pipe dream if that would ever happen. And now we live in that world today. So pretty crazy stuff. So let's get into, we'll do sponsorship. We'll open up some cool stuff and then we'll open it up to some super chats. So get your super chats in and we'll just enjoy the rest of the evening. Horndow, is the Cybertron card a reskin of Voltiac Key? No, it's a reskin of, I believe I think it's Commander Tower. It's one of them. It's one of the Commander cards. It's one where it's a land that you tap and you could add one colorless mana of your Commander color types that it represents. So I think it's Command Tower. I forget off the bat. I really should have had the image, but I kind of like got all this put together at the last moment. So I apologize. Maybe I'll try to do a segment this week and we'll talk about it if I have the time. But let's get into sponsorship. Let's talk about Symbiote Studios. We were just talking about the great shirt just now. But Symbiote Studios, our plush, our pins, and our t-shirts, again, they keep the lights on for the podcast. Yep, Reskin Commander Tower. Thank you. Thank you, Michael Koo. That's what I thought it was. Our plush, our pins, and our t-shirts. Again, if you want to get official Transformer plush, official Transformer t-shirts, and official Transformer pins, all in an ongoing initiative, not just these little one-shots that you never see any again. Again, symbiotestudios.com is your go-to with their new upgrades, their new brand new plushes, making them more show accurate. Always an ongoing effort, and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. 2023. Let me tell you guys, I've already seen the 2023 stuff. Don't worry, Michael. Those reveals are coming. Trust me, I literally had a talk with Symbiote Studios today. Those are all coming, and it's a lot of exciting stuff. It's a lot more than just those little three there. You know, there's going to be a lot of cool plush coming. So if you've been waiting for the latest from Symbiote Studios and their ongoing plush initiative, there's going to be hype stuff. And if I go if I go to TFCon LA this March, you'll probably find me at Symbiote Studios booth. That'll probably be on my stomping ground that weekend since Mr. Archer will not be going. We will see probably Aaron. Next time we will see Aaron Archer will be at TFCon Toronto. But TFCon LA in March, if I am going, I'm about 90% there at this point. I'm just kind of working out stuff with my schedule. But um, if I do go, I will be at Symbiote Studios booth, and you'll probably be able to see all the cool stuff in person and everything, and just see how awesome those plushes are, how big they are in person. People don't realize just how huge those plushes are. Oh, I got the throne of the primes in the way, unfortunately. I love that thing. Thank you, Mikey and Louie, for that one. But yeah, check out Symbiote Studios, all their awesome plush. And again, all their other Hasbro related stuff, because this is a Hasbro license related brand. So you have Power Rangers, you got My Little Pony, you got G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, and of course, Magic the Gathering. Now that Magic the Gathering and Transformers have a beautiful symbiotic relationship, you could pick up those Magic the Gathering pins and represent your colors and everything like that. The mountains, the swamps, the islands, the plains, the forests, and the colorless. And I just have Starscream there just so you can get an idea of what you're dealing with here. Of what you're dealing with here. But yeah, check it out, yo. Great stuff. And of course, can't talk about Transformers without talking about And Deceits, the official podcast. I guess we'll call it our cockpit, as I like to call it, for the podcast. So, And Deceits, they're going to be revealing, hopefully by the end of next month, we're going to be having all the brand new Transformer gaming chairs and gaming chair accessories. By then, they're going to send me everything, and then we'll do a big reveal on the pod. Hopefully, some brand new characters so you could pick from. It's going to be pretty hype. It's going to be pretty hype. They've been throwing around some stuff already in my face of, hey, maybe we're going to do this, maybe we're going to do that. And it looks pretty good. And again, I've never had one of these like gaming chairs before. This was the first time I've ever had one. And let me tell you something. I'm glad I went with And Deceits because I'm sold on it. I just like having lower lumbar support because I'm a tall guy and finding a seat that is comfortable is difficult, especially when everything you buy from Walmart is made for someone that's 5'5", I guess, because they would always come up here. Look at the early live streams, the early live streams. You didn't see no headrest because I was way above it. So this is awesome stuff. Magnetic. I always like to show this off, but the magnets, seamless magnets. I love that. Everyone loves magnets. So again, And Deceits, check them out. Again, promo code ProtoMan, get 15% off your first order. Get yourself some And Deceits. And of course, Aaron Archer. Here's a little sneak peek. The next episode of the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. What are we going to be talking about? That is going to be coming tomorrow. Check that out. Yeah, I don't want to spoil, but check that out. That is going to be the next segment coming up. Full segment, visual segment, a good hour talking about some cool stuff. So be sure to check that out. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Throw that in your YouTube search engine. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. It's me. It's Aaron Archer from Hasbro talking about all kinds of different toys, Transformers, Ninja Turtles. Hopefully, maybe will come up one day. Who knows what we're going to talk about? But we got all kinds of cool stuff. Stay tuned for that. We will see. I'm not saying what it is, but be sure to check that out. So we will see tomorrow. Be sure to check that out. Again, go to the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Go subscribe. Go check it out. Aaron also does live streams on Fridays. So you get a double dose when the weekend starts. When the weekend starts on Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you get Aaron Archer where he answers your questions and stuff. And then Saturday, you got my stupid face. So it all works out in the end. But go check it out. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer will keep you busy. A lot of good segments there. Check it out, yo. And of course, if you want more Aaron Archer, go pick up his book, The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 1, Black and White Edition. Get the original art from the man who created all of that stuff from the Unicron trilogy onward. A little bit of RID, a little bit of Beast Wars, even a little bit of everything. Check it out. Art of Transforming Robots. That's at archermonster.com/shop, or just check out archermonster.com to begin with and just check out all that other cool art and stuff. And get yourself a nice little art book. Beautiful, nice little art book. 32 pages of original Transformer art, not stuff that's pre-existing art from boxes or stuff like that. Brand new art made of these characters, made by the guy who made those characters. And $20. And for an extra 15 more, he'll even draw you a little sketch on the inside of your request of what you want. Pretty good if you ask me. Late Christmas present, early Valentine's Day present, Chinese New Year. I'm trying to think of what else. What else? When's Easter? I don't even know anymore. So, do that. I know I was seeing Easter candy already is on display, so kind of messes me up. But yeah, check it out, yo. Check it out. Good stuff. And that's it more or less. Again, so let's get into we'll do some super chats. We'll do some questions from the green names. We're going to open up some stuff. We're not going to be doing any giveaways for a little while. I think we gave away enough over the past 2 months. I think we tabulated it. We gave away almost over $400 of Transformer product. So we'll go back to we'll be doing giveaways in the future. But right now, I think everyone got some early Christmas presents, more or less, if you were part of the Patreon or YouTube membership. I know that when convention time comes around and exclusives start to be coming and rolling out and stuff, we'll do some more little giveaways here and there to the fans and everything. But we'll save that for the future. So we got something in the mail. I worry because it's Funko shaped. I was told that it is not Transformer related, which makes me worry even more now. I don't know what it is, but it's not Transformer related, so we will see what happens with that. Then I got something else I got in the mail. I got a whole bunch of stuff I got in the mail from Hasbro stuff and everything. I was talking with Wizard of the Coast marketers, and they sent me some stuff too. But we're gonna save that throughout the rest of the week. We'll do some Instagram stuff and everything. So keep it all interesting. So let's rip this one open. You guys will. There we go. You guys can see it for the first time before I do. So what did we get? What Funko did we get? Oh, that's Mario. That is Mario. What is this? Oh, it's my boy. It's a Shy Guy. Look at that. What is this? Icons. Mario icons? I never even seen this. Well, of course, it has only English packaging on it, so I'll never see this. It's a light? What is this? Oh, that's really cool. And I like that it's the only one that's an actual. Oh, actually, the Goomba and the Boo is actually characters too. That is really cool. Oh wow, I never had this. I have a huge Shy Guy collection. I didn't even know this existed. Is this something that was like from like the Nintendo Universal Studios? Shy Guy is going to be a big part of the Mario movie. Oh, this is really cool. Oh man, I'm never gonna be able to find this locally because I'm looking at some of the others now, and I'm like, oh, what if I want to get that, that Goomba or the Pow especially because that's from Mario Bros. That's really cool. Oh, that's cool. It lights up. Let me crack this open. One moment. This is from Mikey and Louie again. Thank you, Mikey and Louie, for sending this. Uh, Piccolo Funko. Actually, that I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that one. Wouldn't mind a Piccolo Funko. Oh my god, it's kind of like an amiibo almost. It looks like, but it's larger. So it's like I guess it's AA batteries, which I don't have on me right now, unfortunately. And okay, and you just push. I guess you push the front. What is that? Is so cool though. Oh my goodness, that is really cool. That is, you have to understand, like a lot of Shy Guy merchandise is like smaller than this too. Actually, the deluxe figure is not too bad. It's about that size. That is really cool. Thank you so much. Oh man, it's gonna be a you know what? That's the other thing too. Outside of being a Beast Wars year, it's gonna be one hell of a Mario year coming up. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. That Mario movie, if it doesn't make $1 zillion, I'll be shocked. I will be shocked. Funko Light. No, this is cool. I dig that. Funkos are ugly. This is not ugly. That's on model. You know, Mario Party really kind of solidified the style, but that's an on model Mario 2 Shy Guy. Really good. JR Mina, is Piccolo your favorite character in Dragon Ball? Hands down, 100%. Geez, there's this old photo of me from high school holding a Dragon Ball manga in 1995. That's how old, because in Quebec, a lot of Japanese manga and stuff was printed way before the Anglophone English market. So I engaged with Dragon Ball at a very young age. And Piccolo was always my favorite character. Always loved him. Always cool. I also like Captain Ginyu from the Ginyu Force. Always have a soft spot for him. I like the Ginyu Force in general, but Captain Ginyu specifically, I like him. Who else do I really like? I like Tabayon. He's pretty cool. Trunks is always awesome. Future Trunks is cool. Gohan's another personal favorite, which probably is related also to Piccolo, why I like him too. A lot of good characters. Love Dragon Ball. Love Dragon Ball. Have a huge history with that brand. I was one of those early adopters of it. But yeah, so there's that. That's really cool. And then there's this. So this one I'll talk about right now. I'll just take some questions first. Let's see if there is any. Uh, Tom Laney. Yep, got my Cheetor reissue. Thanks, Proto. Oh, you got your winning thing in the mail. Yeah, I shipped out. We shipped out a Cheetor. We shipped out a lot of Cheetors actually. We did that Cheetor one. So awesome that everyone's getting their gifts in the mail. All the Patreon and YouTube people. Michael Koo says at USD McDonald's Happy Meal Super Mario Brother promotion. Yeah, those are coming soon. Those are coming soon too. Those are going to be showing up. I think someone said next month they're going to be starting to show up, which is a little early, but that's what I was hearing. JR Mina, have you watched the Dragon Ball Superhero movie? No, I have not. But trust me, I've been trying to avoid spoilers, and yes, I know about Orange Piccolo. Trust me, I've been trying to avoid it. But yeah, you can't. Whenever a new mode is revealed, like right away, it's all over the place. I wanted to see it in theaters, but there just wasn't available anywhere that I could have saw it. So Yamcha guy. Oh my goodness. Yamcha was cool. Um, might be a UK product, the Mario's icons thing. Well, yeah, it's definitely not something I'm ever going to see locally here for sure. That's for sure. There's no French on this at all. So le Parti Québécois would eat my butthole if somehow this ended up in stores here. They would absolutely destroy everybody. Ah, the PQ. What could you do? Paladon. That's the company. Paladon. Very cool though. I'm honestly curious as hell about this one as a light. That's probably really awesome. That one, the POW block. I mean, that one probably lights up really cool. I would like the POW block too. I'm such an old school Mario fan because I'm an old fogey. But like the POW block, it just reminds me of original Mario Bros, not Super Mario Bros. Mario Bros. Or Pipeline as we used to call it in the community. Pipe Mario. Yeah. What do we got here? Mario Mickey D's. Have you ever done a video on Super Mario Bros. 2 on how it was different from before? Everyone knows about Doki Doki Panic. There's a photo of me at a I forget what they're called. What's those gaming conventions? It's called Video Games Fast, something like that. I went to the ones in Canada. They did a small one in Canada here in Montreal, and they had a Famicom disk system with Doki Doki Panic hooked up, which is what Mario 2 came from. And there's footage of me playing it and beating it. I didn't do any record speed beating it. It was just me beating it because I'm really good at Mario 2. You know, Peach for life. Use Princess Toadstool float over everything. You want to speed run it? That's the easiest way. Or if you use Luigi and Mario's the only one that's kind of weak. You're a Vegeta guy. I know a lot of my friends like Vegeta. A lot of people like Vegeta. So okay, so this one here, what I wanted to talk about this one. So Super 7. Uh they put out wave 1 of their Super 7 Ultimates. And apparently they were not received well. They did not sell well at all. And then all of their inventory for wave 1 ended up on mega clearance at a lot of different retailers. So these were Michael Koo in the chat here might be able to correct me on this because we talked about this a few times. I believe they were $50 each originally, original MSRP, or 60. Excuse me a moment. Don't ever eat before you do a live stream. Especially a lot of bread and rice. But I believe these were $50 or $60 original MSRP. They didn't sell well at all, and they started getting clearanced as low as $15 each. I couldn't say no to that. $55.99. Thank you, T Formers 2002. So at $15 a piece, I was willing to roll the dice and bite on some of the characters I wasn't so much interested in. Because the ones like the Bludgeon and, the G2 homages, those ones caught my attention. But some of the others didn't so much. But at $15, I mean, hell, we're paying more for that for those REDs, you know? So these went on crazy clearance. I picked up the entire first wave at $15 a pop. And so we're getting a box opening in the moment right now of these. Yeah, there you go. Earth Entertainment had a huge clearance. Super 7 Ultimates Wave 1. Yeah, there was tons of, it wasn't just Earth Entertainment. There was a lot of different retailers that were just like killing it. Just like going like, we need to get rid of this. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the product. It's just we're Transformer fans. Wow, that tape was really strong. Yeah. We're Transformer fans and we just like stuff that transforms. We just have this stigma where if we're going to be paying, if we're going to be paying like $60 after taxes and not even counting shipping for a product, um, we're going to want something that transforms. Now, not to take anything away from Super 7, I think it's really cool. Look at that. It's all fancy box, really nice, comes in the slip cover. Look at that. And I only know this already because I already opened some other ones that I have. But I mean, and look, it's huge. It's a big figure. Let me get something for scale. So like, let's use a Voyager class. It's actually a little bigger than a Voyager class, but you know, just to give you an idea. So there's like this mold, the Inferno, aka Hoist, Hoist, Grapple, aka Artfire, aka what else did they repaint this into? Shattered glass stuff probably at some point. But yeah, so it's larger than a Voyager scale or a small leader. They're nice quality. They're very nicely painted. It's just a lot of Transformer fans didn't want to engage with something here. Let's crack it open, shall we? Let's crack it open. But first, we'll take a super chat from Kaz. Kaz with the super chat for $5. Hey Proto, was wondering your thoughts on the Showa era Super Sentai series. Where I grew up, Bioman was broadcast a lot. Those old robot designs are fire. Of the Showa stuff, I think the only one that really intrigued me was, I believe it was called Turbo Ranger. Not to be confused with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that came from Car Ranger. I like Turbo Ranger. And the only reason why I really liked that one was because when Power Rangers first came out here in Canada in '93, same time as you guys in America, when Power Rangers came out, it was impossible to get Power Ranger toys. It was just impossible. Bandai of America didn't realize how well they would sell. It was Bandai America's first year doing retail product, and they just didn't have enough inventory to meet the demand. So it was really tough to get Power Ranger toys. And then I went to Chinatown, as I always did, because despite the fact that this is a white boy here, he always ended up in Chinatown somehow. And the bootleg market and the import market was very strong in Montreal. And I was face to face, and I still have it to this day. I wish I brought it down. I could show you guys. I was face to face with a mint in box Turbo Ranger Turbo Robo, like that you assemble and put together, the deluxe one. And I remember looking at this and going like, "What is this?" It's clearly Power Rangers because it had like the Sentai Rangers on the cover. Granted, it didn't look like Zoo Ranger, which was Mighty Morphin, but and I was like, "What is this?" I thought I found something from the future. Like I was like, "What is this?" And then learning, because when you're a Westerner, it's like, "What is Power Rangers?" Does it start with this? It's Japanese because if you're someone like me who grew up on Ultraman and Godzilla movies, you're already used to like that kind of kaiju style and dubbing and everything when you see the Rita Repulsa scenes. But I was just like, what do I have here? How I always end up in Chinatown, a Proto Man story. Dude, like you have to understand, like our Chinatown is so comfy. It's not like I've been to New York City's Chinatown, I've been to Toronto's Chinatown. Toronto has a humongous Chinatown, but ours is like it's like 5 blocks. No like cars could go into it, so it's all you have to do it all by foot traffic, and it's all super cozy. and very nice. It has what's called the hidden garden there, which is really nice and everything too. In fall because they put up the lanterns. What a beautiful place. Love it there. But I would always go there because there's always so many cool toys and bootlegs. I bought so many bootlegs I've bought throughout the years. I bought from there. My first Mega Man toys, my first Proto Man toy I got from Chinatown. There you go. As in Proto Man, the Mega Man character. Um, not all Showa era Sentais were shown in the Philippines. You know what? I don't know how much of that because I know what was it? Not Bioman. What was it? The one that they showed on the Filipino channel that I saw on I think it was called FCP or whatever. Brings me back. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It wasn't Bioman though, but I'd have to go with Turbo Man. Turbo Ranger, excuse me, not Turbo Man. Bioman, Turbo Ranger. Turbo Ranger for sure. Love that. Love that.
No matter
Cringe
the
McCringle.
cost.
Hey, Proto, at work, but I thought I'd stop in. Thank you for popping in. Cringe McCringle, 3-month YouTube member. Good old Cringe McCringle. So let's crack open an Ultimate. Check them out. Because a lot of people are scared to engage with these, and I don't blame them. The price for entry is a little pricey, but look, ooh, fancy, like, ooh, look at this, ooh, it's all like you can't deny that they make an effort with the packaging. Can't deny that. Very nice packaging. The slip cover. I mean, would you prefer if it came in a boring brown box like a Generations or something, and save us like say $20 on the figure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure some people would like that. So there he is. There. Let's get grapple there again to show scale. So put it side by side. So it's again very big and beefy. Like I said, like a small leader class kind of scale. Very nice. And again, it's Bonsaitron, which I own the original, and I was just kind of going like, do I need a larger Action Master? And actually, if you got a 100% complete original Action Master Bonsaitron, it probably would be cheaper than this, at least with its original MSRP. Yeah, they're using the old twist ties. Here in the Philippines, Bioman, Maskman, Turboman, 5-Man, and Jetman were quite popular. Jetman, I would imagine, would be. Jetman's always the most popular. Always the most popular of the Sentai. Was personally disappointed with the Super 7 Ultimates Optimus. Well, I didn't get any from Wave 1 initially. I got them all now because of this, because those were characters that didn't really speak to me. Did I really need a Ghost Starscream? Did I really need the Optimus? And what was the last one I bought? I don't even remember what I paid for. I just bought the full wave for like 15 a pop, you know? But we will see. We will see. Let me just pop this guy out here for you. And then we'll take a look at him. Always got to open up this stuff live. Unfortunately, no transformation live. At least not with this one. So I do feel, and again, I've already messed with their Wave 2 stuff, so I have a little bit of an experience with not Transformers, with Ninja Turtles. So I already have an experience with their Ultimates products, and I will give them credit in one sense. Okay, articulation, you know, not bad. I mean, it's not like amazing, but I mean, it's there. Instead of it just being 5 points, at least it has like nice little ratchet ones and stuff. And again, the turtle ones I feel are a little better, but it's also by design. Robots are a lot more blocky, so there's also limitations within the articulation and while staying true to the design. But I mean, they're good. They're good. They're nice. It's just the price is a big issue with a lot of people, and in all honesty, I don't blame them. But I mean, if you could pick these up at 15 a pop, I mean, can't argue with that, really. I mean, in all honesty, let's get an open hand here. Need a nice open hand. What do we got here? Let me see some. Ron Diaz. I would have gotten one if they had a better selection of characters. I would have bought an Ultra Magnus Springer or. Well, you know what? To give them credit, they went with obscure characters. I mean, I appreciate them doing something like, let's say, a Bludgeon. It's not for me, but it does show that they want to have fun, and have those like, unique characters and do the sculpting of the weapon to match the original toy. and so and even including the Action Master Buddy. And what's cool about, especially with a character like let me just put all the right hands. With a character like Bonsaitron here, because in his fiction and lore is he's kind of like Fist of the North Star. He's kind of like Kenshiro, where he could poke you and like kill you. If anyone who watches Fist of the North Star or Hokuto no Ken, you know. So they kind of like gave him like these hand pieces like that's like you could do like you are already dead, Cybertronian. So you could give him like a cool dynamic pose. He could hit your Cybertronian pressure points and make you crumble. Crumble like rumble. But yeah. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Or he could aim for the heavens. I think it's cool. But at the end of the day, it's the price that hurt a lot of people. And I think that that's probably why a lot of people didn't engage with this, and why Proto Man here today talking to you got him for $15 as well as all the others, because no one really wanted to pay full price. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Michael Koo says Super 7 has several waves. Had several waves to get good with the Ultimates TMNT. Super 7 Ultimates TF is in its early days. Yeah, well, that's why like they did the Slash Ninja Turtle one. That one caught my attention when they did the April O'Neil, which I mean, historically, everyone's been trying to find a half decent collector grade April O'Neil figure, and I still think it really hasn't happened yet. But if it has happened, the Super 7 one is probably on there. But I mean, everyone was buying those NECA Ninja Turtles, and those ones have all kinds of QC issues, where at least these Super 7 ones are pretty good. So hopefully they find their place with these. It's and they're not going to change the price, because that's just what they've saddled themselves to. And if they lower the price, it's obviously going to affect the quality of the figures. But you know, it's something where I say, hey, if you want it, but you don't want to pay full price, you're just going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait for it to fail in order to engage with it, which is such a weird thing to say. But I don't know. I like it, but I just don't like $60 like it. You know? That's kind of the thing. Like there's so many things you could buy with Transformers for $60 that in my opinion just do a lot more. And combined with the fact that the Transformer fandom is just not big on non-trans, like I personally believe, it's just my opinion. I think the robots in the RED line, excuse me, the robot enhanced design line, I think that thing's dead. I think like this is the last year of that. They tried and it didn't work. So we'll see what happens with that one. But wish they would make a Nightbird. Yeah, well, that's what I feel that what they should have done is they should have really like tackled a lot of those characters that aren't really known for transforming. I mean, obviously the go-to is, oh, why didn't they do human characters? Well, human characters, look, if Bonsaitron, Optimus Prime, Ghost of Starscream, and whatever the fourth one was, I keep forgetting. Someone tell me. It's crazy. I have it upstairs and I don't even know. Um, but if those didn't sell, imagine that was the opening wave. Optimus Prime didn't sell, Bonsaitron didn't sell, Starscream didn't sell. So it's like if those didn't sell, would have Nightbird done any better? You know, in the face of a masterpiece, in the face of a retail product, multiple retail products, both in the Legends line and in Generation Selects. Bombshell, thank you. It was an Action Master UK. That's correct. You know, um, It's just like if they didn't sell using those characters, would Spike or Daniel or Carly move the needle? Probably not. If Optimus Prime doesn't move the needle, how would those? So it's a weird one. It's a weird one. See, even like Abraham Autobot Spike. Yeah, Autobot. I feel Autobot Spike would be cool, but would it move the needle? The problem is that these selling well won't rely on us. These selling well relies on non-Transformer fans engaging, and non-Transformer fans not engaging hurts the bottom line in a lot of ways, because you want that guy that's going to buy the one figure and just have it in his display. And that'll be like the one Transformer he buys just because he thought it looked cool and he was a Super 7. He's a guy who bought like it's a dude who bought like the Super 7 Turtles or the Super 7 Thundercats or whatever. And then he sees that one Transformer one that appeals to him. But clearly, anyone who wants to make a casual Transformer purchase is probably going to want to buy a Transformer that transforms. It's just the way it is. So when you do non-transforming product like this or statues, you're aiming at the hardcore fans, and even the hardcore fans are kind of like, see, animated sorry. T-Formers 2002 Patreon member, animated sorry. You know, it's I would love an animated sorry, but the mainstream will be like, who's that? Who's that girl? Oh, that's from a cartoon from like more than 10 years ago. Man, do I feel old already? You know, no one will remember that, unfortunately. Like of the mainstream. Uh, Tom Laney says, make a wave where they were human characters with Cobra Commander. You're talking about Only Human, that episode. They did that with Transformer Collector Club, and those didn't sell well either. Fun Publications did Hot Rod and RC, and then they did Old Snake and Marissa Fairborn, and they did not sell well at all. What a surprise. Transformer fans don't want human characters. I do, but I'm a weirdo, and I'm the minority. The majority don't care. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Michael Koo, Super 7 Ultimates Wave 1 should have had Botanica. I would love Botanica. But again, if Optimus Prime didn't sell, if Starscream didn't sell, if Bombshell and Insecticon a little more upper tier than let's say something like a Bonsaitron, but if those didn't sell, what would make you think Botanica would sell? And I would love Botanica. I'd be so down for that. That'd be really cool. But then again, we also would be ending up with a Botanica figure that doesn't transform, which would suck. But I'd really dig that. I'd dig it. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Good point. It's unfortunate. Yeah, and again, it's the price. I think no one, like even me, when I saw that these were $15, I was like, of course, 100%, I'm down for that. $15 for this, 100%. This is definitely worth it at $15. The second you handle it, the heft, like it's good. It's good heavy PVC plastic and ABS used for certain joints. A little bit of palm here and there, probably for the ratchets here on the inside, but you could feel like they're heavy ratchets that are in there. You can feel it. Like they're really good. But Transformer fans aren't made of money. They don't have all the money in the world. So Collector Prime, we need a circuit breaker if non-transforming characters continue. That one's a tough one. That's a Marvel trademark. Um, I don't know. We if we do get a circuit breaker, it's going to be in the Marvel Legends line. Kind of like how we got Death's Head in Marvel Legends, the 3-inch ones that they did. But we'll see what happens with that. We will see. We will see. But I mean, I think they're cool. I think they're cool. It almost looks like he glows in the dark. That'd be cool though. I'm gonna probably again follow on the Instagram. Sometime later this week, I'm going to be taking some photography of these guys and just checking them out. Maybe I'll just open one a week or something. I don't know. You guys tell me what I should do. But I'm thinking maybe we'll open one a week and just take some nice photos and stuff, and that'll be that. That'll be that. But I mean, look, packaging is cool. Cool packaging, cool figures. It's just unfortunate it just didn't find its market. And it's to me, I feel like it's not going to go anywhere. Again, look, even the packaging is very Action Mastery. Like, look at that, the tech spec and everything. Look at the box is nice, and then you got the slip cover, Bonsaitron right on there, and the foil. Nice little slip cover there, and it just covers the Bonsaitron part there. It's very nice, very very nice. But that's $10 of packaging right there, and the actual box itself too, because then it comes in a protective box individually for that. It's all really cool, but the price. And that's always my contention. Look at all the drama that's happening right now with HasLab and stuff, with Victory Saber. It's like, to me, you know, money is important, and money is very important, and we exchange our time for money. Never forget that. When you buy a Transformer toy and you buy it for $50, you're exchanging your time to get that toy, because that's how you got that money. For most people, you work, you spend your time, that's it. And we only have so much time, and thus we only have so much money. And you got to make it worth it for a consumer in order to want to engage with a product. That's why when I did my exclusive for TFCon, and people were like, "Why is it only $10?" Like, they were shocked how cheap what my exclusive was. And I was like, I just want to break even just so people can engage with it. Now you could argue, "Oh, Rotoman, that's terrible for business." And yeah, you're right. Like, the profit margin on it was non-existent. It just covered all my expenses and everything, and a few little wiggle room for some lost and found, let's put it this way, when stuff gets lost in the mail. Because if you ship out 80 units, you're going to lose 1%. It's just going to happen. So it's but it's just, to me, I wanted people to be able to engage with product. And when you go to a TFCon and the exclusives are $120, $150 sometimes, for there to be a $10 item. And again, I'm not going to say that my exclusive was anything awesome. It was a tiny little figure, simple transformation, but it gave someone something to have fun with and something to engage with. And when you put stuff that's really expensive and everything, oh, what's up, Goober? It gets crazy. It gets crazy. Goober got my exclusive. There's quite a few people in the chat that got it, actually. I think Cringe McCringle's here. He got one too. And that was one of the free Patreon things. If you were part of my Patreon, I shipped it out for free to every person on it who wanted it. I have no more left because I didn't realize how many people wanted it, but we sold out on the Sunday morning at TFCon, and that was that. Good stuff. We have another one planned. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't like making promises I can't keep. So I just want to kind of, something is brewing behind the scenes, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens with that. But again, we will see. We will see. It's just but that's always a problem. That's always a problem, is that you have to be really smart with your money, and this hobby is an expensive hobby, and way too many times people put their money in the wrong areas, and stuff like the Super 7 stuff, you don't have to be really good with money to realize that sometimes that's a bit of a red flag with some people. Collector Prime with the super chat for $5. Hi, Proto. What is your thoughts on MP1 and MP5? Are they worth collecting to have some original MPs? Having originals could be fun. So MP1, original Convoy Optimus. When you refer to MP1, are you talking about the Takara MP1? Or are you talking about 20th anniversary Optimus Prime? Because sometimes when people say MP1, they're referring to just the mold rather than the individual release. But MP5, that was Grimlock, if I remember correctly. Was that Grimlock? MP3 was Starscream. MP4 was Optimus with trailer. MP2 was Ultra Magnus. MP3 was Starscream. I'm going off the top of my head here because I'm looking at them right now, just trying to remember the numbers. MP4, MP5 was Megatron. Well, I'll say this: the Megatron one, it's very oddly scaled. He's very big. He won't scale well with anything else in your. And his transformations is a little fidgety. But he is, from a historical standpoint, a marvel of engineering. I believe it was Kobayashi who was the designer on that one. I want to say it was Kobayashi, because Shogo Asui started with MP10, so I think Kobayashi was doing them up to that point. But MP1 to MP9, I believe, was all Kobayashi. And Kobayashi, I remember they said, there was a quote in Figure King magazine that when they figured out a way to move the trigger, like his gun trigger, off of the crotch and into the leg, they were so happy when they figured out a way to do that that they all went out drinking. And I remember that was a quote in Figure King magazine. It was so funny. So that was the first time they really figured out how to get rid of that trigger off of his crotch properly and not hinder the robot mode. And so you could own the figure that has that story. But overall, I'm not a big fan of the MP5. I look at it right now and he just towers over everybody because he was just so big. And because he was kind of made to be a companion piece to Optimus, who that original MPO1 is very tall too. That's the one thing that's going to dawn on you with MPO1 than let's say the MP10 is it's a lot taller, way more die cast, and clearly and by the way, the creator of MPO1 and the pitch guy of MPO1 is here in the chat today. Aaron, say hi if you're if you're paying attention. But the one who made MP1 is in the chat today. Um, but it was just a 20th anniversary Optimus Prime, MPO1, light up stuff. Like how often you see light up gimmicks with masterpieces outside of like I think Optimus Primal had it. Who else had light up stuff? Oh, Shockwave had light up stuff. Who am I forgetting? I must be forgetting somebody. Who else had light up stuff? Anyways, the point. Oh, maybe Megatron in his canon too. Um, but a lot of them. A lot of them is Aaron here. Where is he? I want to make sure he's here. Anyways, um, but yeah, it's MPO1 is a very interesting piece of Transformer history because it's a masterpiece that's almost separate from the others because of how he was designed. And if you could remove the mouthpiece, you get to see Optimus's mouth under there. He has like this like grin face of teeth. Oh, it's true. Dinobot has like yeah, I know the Beast Wars ones because I know Primal has it. Dinobot, probably Megatron too. Beast Wars Megatron probably has light up stuff also. Because I don't put like Primal, I put the batteries in because I love those glowing eyes, but then I took them out because never leave batteries in your Transformers. That's rule number one. MPO9 Hot Rod, I love that toy. I know it's not that great, but I still love it. When that toy first came out, I lost my mind how good it was, you know? Oh, there's Aaron. There you go. Aaron was the one who helped with the creation of MPO1 Optimus. So, you know, he's here. One day we'll probably talk about that on the Toy Armada in the future. The creation of Masterpiece, the longest running Transformer line to this day. Started in 2003 was when it first rolled out. 2003, and it's still to this day, Masterpiece is the longest running Transformer line. Still going. Still going to this day. And is there a big difference between the 20th anniversary Walmart and the Japanese? Yes. The smokestacks are shorter for safety reasons. Paint deco is different. Um, I believe that there was a different Walmart version that also had a stand that talked, if I remember correctly. I have all the variants. I just don't remember which ones came first because there was Optimus with blue gun, Optimus with gray gun. There was an Optimus with black gun, which was a running change. Like that was a whole bunch of crazy stuff back then. Love it, love it, love it. Uh, Michael Koo says if Hasbro won't put lights and sounds into HasLab Transformers, we'll never see lights and sounds in other TF products. We will see lights and sounds in mainline product. That's where it kind of belongs in the gimmicky kind of stuff. I could see lights and sounds in like in an ultimate class, cyberverse kind of item. That's where they kind of put that kind of stuff. Like the smash changers and all of that is going to probably have lights and sounds and different things. So it's just when you put lights and sounds in a collector product, sometimes it could hinder the transformation. In the case of like Dinobot and Optimus, they use pill batteries, and pill batteries are choking hazards. So you can't put it in a regular, ages 3 and under product. So a lot of times with pill battery toys, it's always a collector product. So, but then when you have to have full size batteries, be it triple A's or double A's or the dreaded 9 volt, um, that's a big hunk of space and real estate inside a toy that's meant to go inside out and transform and come together. And that's why a lot of Transformer toys that have batteries in them looking at a lot of them here. Usually we're very blocky for a lot of reasons, just by design, if anything. Once in a while, if the toy is big enough, they're able to have those batteries be small enough on their person, like having a big, leader class figure that could have two AAAs inside it that doesn't hinder the transformation too much. When you're talking smaller characters, where would you put a 9 volt on a rat trap toy? It has to be a pill battery. So, Horned Owl, do you think Studio Series line will make figures of the TF video games? Yes, they will. They've actually announced that they'll be doing stuff. I'm thinking of Sentis Maximus or Sentis. Oh, you're talking about the ones from Earth Wars, the twins. Oh, those I don't know. Those I don't know. Those are the twin. I know you're talking about those two characters from Earth Wars that you have to pay pay through the gills to be able to unlock through the gotcha system. Um, I don't think they'll do those anytime. You know what? Yes and no. It's some of the Earth Wars designs coincidentally ended up becoming toys, and I think it's more coincidental. But those two, they're so obscure, they're so weird. Unless the Earth Wars game was some kind of amazing, crazy download, Angry Birds level kind of culture, then they would consider it. But it's such small pickings. Although, funny thing about Earth Wars, it's one of the longest running Transformer mobile games to this day. I think every other mobile game has closed up shop, or if there is one, it's not as long as Earth Wars. Earth Wars has been around for a while. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. The only thing that sucks about Earth Wars is the bigger your city becomes, the more your phone suffers. The more they got to load up, and then so there's kind of like a power cap with playing that game, unfortunately. It's a good game. Good game. I liked Forge to Fight too. That was a good one. But the sad truth with any Transformer mobile game, I'm pulling out my phone here now, is just some stuff just doesn't exist anymore. Like I'll just show you here the dreaded Transformers oh god, it's not even gonna focus. The Transformers Robots in the Skies 2012 mobile game. That one's dead. I leave it on there just cause I'm crazy. I think the Angry Birds TF game is still going. Yes, it is. It is still going. Um, it's one of the few that are still running from that era. Has very good music. That game has no right to have such good music by Vince DiCola. Forged to Fight was good, but as someone who plays fighting games on a very competitive level, was way too simple for me. Um, TF Legends had amazing art, and I remember the TF Legends game. I was hoping that they would do an art book because that was a lot of it was Marcelo. Who did it? Marcelo did art for that, and a few other people. Those were amazing too. And luckily, a lot of that art got recycled in the Transformers TCG card game by Wizards of the Coast, so the art didn't go to waste, most of it. But a lot of it also didn't get used or was disappeared and never seen again. A lot of good stuff, though. A lot of good stuff. Again, Force the Fight had some good ideas. It also had some really good art, like the story art that was used in it was really good. They had Marissa Fairborn art that was unique to it, and the quintessons and stuff like that. So it was still good. Horned Owl, I love the new figures from the TF Angry Birds game. Now that would be amazing, awesome. Well, I have a few of them. Do I have the packaging here somewhere? I bought one recently at a garage sale for like nothing. Someone had like a sealed Optimus, and I was like, sure, why not?
Must be stopped.
Mike
No
Rosen
matter the
with the
cost.
13-month super chat YouTube member. Will we get a second trailer for Rise of the Beast? Of course we will. We're gonna get one. It's a matter of when, you know. Like the first trailer we got was a teaser trailer. The second trailer we're gonna get is what's called the infamous full movie trailer, which is the one that's really gonna go around. And then that'll be it. And then we'll be riding into the summer of 2023 with Rise of the Beast. So we'll probably get one more trailer, maybe at our next big convention, whenever that'll be. What do we have? New York Comic Con. There's probably going to be some other big convention at some point. I know They moved New York Toy Fair to the end of the year instead of the beginning of the year, so that's not going to happen. SDCC is later, and I think Texas Comic Con is later. It's after the movie. So there must be something, though. There's always going to be a platform to go, hey, check this out. We're doing this big reveal. Tom Laney. I remember one where they were all looked and smushed characters like Transformer vinyls. Which one are you referring to? I don't know which one you're referring to. There's so many different ones. No, they already the Super Bowl maybe, but I don't know. Super Bowl is a little different because when you have those kind of trailers, especially the second trailers, they're a lot longer. Like they're usually like 2 minute to 3 minute trailers, and for the Super Bowl to have a 2 to 3 minute trailer on there, that must be ridiculously expensive. But who knows? Maybe they have confidence in it. I mean, there was Transformers at the Nickmas Bowl, so they had Transformer Rise of the Beast stuff there. So maybe Hasbro is going to make that effort. Maybe WonderCon, that's another one too. Yeah, totally forgot about that one. The trailer we got was just a teaser trailer. Yeah, that's what I said. Just to show mainly the designs, not much plot. Yeah, we're gonna get something that's more focusing on what the story is, especially with the human characters, and really establishing everything afterwards with some Chaos Bringer spoilers, probably. So we'll see. We will see. Um, but there's something for sure. They're gonna try to find a platform. I always say like places like CBR.com, Comic Book Reader News, comicbook.com. Those guys always, IGN's another one. There goes my cap. I, you know, those are the websites that usually get the news first. Michael Koo says in 2022, a 1 minute Super Bowl commercial cost $7 million. Well, there you go. So based on that math, if if it's a 3 minute commercial, that's $21 million just in advertising. So how many tickets would have to be sold just to cover the Super Bowl commercial? I don't think they want to do that to themselves. So that's definitely an uphill battle. We're literally going to ruin the profits of Rise of the Beast for a Super Bowl commercial. I don't think so. Not worth it. People will know about Rise of the Beast. They'll find other ways. You're better taking 21 million and making sure it's in prime time television and stuff like that than the Super Bowl. That'd be silly. Collector Prime, do you think Hasbro stock will turn around and start increasing again? Always word of advice. Yeah, the Hasbro stock right now isn't very, very good. I would actually suggest if you are interested in buying Hasbro stock to buy now. But this always happens. Stock always after the holidays takes a dip. Obviously not as bad as Hasbro. Hasbro's in, as they call it in the SEP. It's in a buy state right now, which is if you were someone who is an investor, you would be buying Hasbro stock, not selling. Um, so it's really cheap. It's not, but to be fair, it's still not as cheap as Mattel or Bandai or Jax or Jada or any of the other companies. So it's bad compared to what it was before, but it's not as bad as some of the other companies. So we'll see what happens with Hasbro with their stock. Again, that's not because of Transformers. That's because of other factors that have really been kind of souring it. There's a few things here and there that I'll go into probably in a segment in the future. I don't want to talk too out of line without the proper information in front of me, but there is a few things. Ron Diaz, I picked up a Legacy Alita one. Amazon had it for 17. Always never pay full price, brother. That's good stuff. Great mold, love the colors. Now I need to get all the Alita ones, as in all the Alita ones that used that mold, like the Minerva, or all the Alita ones in all of Transformers history. Because the very first Alita was a statue figure by a company called, what was that company called? They did a hot rod and they did an RC. It was a vinyl figure. I own the hot rod one. You have to build it and paint it. Oh, what was the name of that company? But so that was the very first Alita figure. Then we got Alita, which was the Japanese name for RC and Energon. So you have to get that one, which actually has an aerial kind of shaped head sculpt. It's another one. Of course, you got the Power of the Primes one and everything too. A few Alita figures here and there. Got to catch them all. Michael Koo, Hasbro stock currently is around 65. A year ago, it peaked at around 100. Yeah, no, there's it's no surprise with the passing of Brian Goldner, who was very important to Hasbro's success, especially from a mainstream standpoint. Brian had a vision. Brian had good connections with movie studios. Brian was a guy who was on the cutting room floor when Power Rangers took over the world. He was a very, internally integral part to the Transformer brand. I don't need to say it either. What's up, Lee J? I don't need to say it either. Like Aaron Archer's in the chat too, worked with Brian. He could speak as much of it just as I can, if not more, of course. Um, and it's just when Brian passed away, that obviously took a lot of wind out of that, hot air balloon. And it made a lot of people go like, oof, and then it's like, oh, well, who are we going to make the new CEO? And it's like, oh, it's Chris Cox, the guy who tripled or quadrupled Magic's profits. So he should be perfect, right? This was a guy who, quadrupled Magic the Gathering's profits during COVID, during the big V. I could call it COVID now. Who cares anymore? No one cares anymore. But, he tripled or quadrupled the profits. So he should be perfect, right? The problem is that, and this is just my opinion, Hasbro didn't factor in that during 2020 and early 2021, a lot of free money was being printed. And a lot of free money was being printed to people who didn't need that money. And they were putting a lot of money into collectibles and trading cards and everything like that. And we got this artificial, unofficial numbers, which is when you pour all that free money into the environment, obviously all the luxury items and toys are slowly becoming a luxury item, but all the luxury items start to do well. And Chris Cox in 2020 was at the time, Chris Cox was the CEO of Wizards of the Coast, working in the Hasbro family bubble, and he was happy with that success and was able to probably use that as a leverage to prove himself to be proper for a CEO. Whether if that's true or not, but I'm just saying when you're trying to sell your case to be a CEO and when the board votes people in. MC Access, thank you T Formers 2002 for that vinyl figure I was referring to. Sometimes when you have too much stuff in your head, too much stuff in the brain. You could see that MC Access kit in my Hot Rod collection thread in TFW 2005. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, it's just, I think that the, Brian passing and bringing in Chris Cox, who, while he did find success with Magic the Gathering and tripling its profits and quadrupling its profits and to the moon, I think it also kind of, it wasn't the best example to use, maybe is the best way to put it. I think that sometimes you got to look at what a person did when the times were the worst to get an idea of what they could do during those tough times, because that's what Brian did. Brian came in, here's Beast Machines, didn't do very well for Transformers, really hurt the brand in a lot of ways. And then Brian comes in, Unicron trilogy. Hey, let's make movies, alternators, segmentation, all these other Transformers stuff. And that's not just Transformers, but all the other Hasbro brands too. My Little Pony I think it was G3 or G4 they were going into, trying to fix G.I. Joe with the Cobra versus G.I. Joe and the CG movies. Star Wars going in a new direction and stuff, and really amping up everything after the sequel trilogies really weren't, shooting on all cylinders, because Lord knows episode 1 didn't sell well as they had hoped. Let's put it that way. So there's a lot of factors there that contributed to it, but Brian's passing away is a big part of it. I firmly believe, I think if Brian didn't pass away, we wouldn't be having this conversation, even with the drama related to, like, let's say the Magic 30th and everything like that. I think that we wouldn't be in the same situation. I think things would have been done differently. But that's just my opinion. And, what does my opinion matter? Collector Prime with $5 super chat. Thank you, Collector Prime, for the 5 bones. Thinking about MPs, do you ever think we'll ever get a Masterpiece Minerva? I would love that to death, but I don't think so. I don't think for a while. I think there's a lot of other G1 characters that are going to get done before we get to Minerva. I think, like, even if just like Minerva and Master Force, like, I think we'll get a God Jinrai or a Super Jinrai Masterpiece before we get Minerva. I think we'll get an Overlord, excuse me, before we get a Minerva. Even though I think I would prefer Minerva over the other two, because I would love to get. Look, here's my Minerva. Ah, yeah, and of course all the other ones. But you know, it's something where I would love. I would love a Masterpiece Minerva, but I think there's other characters that probably would get a better chance at plate first. Abraham says, "Will the D&D issues cause on affect the?" I probably should word that better. Will the D&D issues going on affect the stock? Well, yeah, I was told about that story from multiple people. I'm not a big person on D&D, but I'm a tabletop gamer guy, and I'm have tons of friends that are big D&D people. I mean, I have the Transformers role playing book from Renegade because I helped with all the other Renegade stuff, so they sent me that. Probably never use it, but hey, check it out if you're into that. Um, but I'm more of a card gamer, and I like Warhammer and stuff like that more. Not so much the role play stuff, but it will affect it. I'll tell you why. Because you can't look at your audience and say we're going to figure out a way to make money from an audience that historically has been able to survive off of a piece of paper, a pen, and an imagination, and then that one friend that'll have a book to create your characters. And they've survived on that forever. And that's why D&D thrives and why so many people love it, is because it could be a costly hobby if you want it to be, but on the flip side, it could be a hobby that you doesn't cost you any money if you want it to be. You know, there's no price of entry with D&D that's too difficult. So to try to figure out a way to get people to spend a lot of money on D&D is going to be difficult. I understand, making a movie, making action figures, marketing, characters, and stuff like that. But that's not something, and this is not my own words. This is the words from hardcore D&D players that have told me this for years. This is long before the Hasbro drama. It's that it's always been something that's been difficult to make money off of, because those players, they'll make their miniatures, they'll do their stuff, they'll do everything like that. But the flip side of it is you could also do a D&D campaign with a bunch of rocks and beads and a piece of paper, and it works just as well, and people have had sessions and like that and do it just that way. I remember there's a great video on YouTube. It was how to run a D&D campaign using only stuff from Dollar General. Like, it was something like that. Family Dollar or Dollar General. It's on YouTube. And it's all just like, you could buy all your materials, grid paper, all the stuff, little figurines, miniatures, everything. Like, it shows that it's a hobby that could be very low cost, and for a company to go, we're going to figure out a way how to get money from them. It's like, I'm pretty sure the hardcore fans are going like, what are you doing, bro? You know? So it's a little dicey. It's a little dicey. Ron Diaz, now that we got Desaurus and Overlord, love the mold. Are there any other Japanese Decepticons we could get in the future? I mean, everyone wants to get a Lyozak and a Lyo Kaiser, excuse me. Everyone wants to get a Lyo Kaiser. That would be a really good one because that's a GPS character. We just got Black Zarek, which was a GPS character. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about, GPS Gold Plastic Syndrome. Black Zarek was a big, expensive Japanese character. We got a Titan class that doesn't suffer from GPS, so that's good and bigger than the original. Um, Lio Kaiser is another one where one of the members has GPS, so it'd be nice to get an update. And even if GPS wasn't an issue, a complete Lio Kaiser is like a 700, 800, 9,000, $900 figure complete. So it'd be nice to get an update of him. Me personally, who else would be nice? Who else would be good of the Japanese stuff? Any of those Master Force guys are fun. Give me uh, my word, give me Cancer, and I don't mean it like that. Someone's gonna quote that. The character of Cancer, who was one of the Headmaster Juniors. Give me an update of him. Someone's gonna quote me on that. I know it, but that'd be a cool one. Squeeze Play, as he was called in America. Tom Laney, I love making transforming D&D dice. Well, in a lot of ways, that's kind of what Bakugan were, weren't they? They were transforming D&D little rolling stuff long before. Horned Owl D&D is relatively cheap hobby as a player, as a GM not so much. Well, that's just it. And the thing is when you're a GM, you're the one that probably owns the books. You could be the probably like you just need to have that one friend that's the one who invested in getting the hand guides, the one that's probably going to be doing the GM stuff, and then you're the 4, 5, 6 other people, they get to enjoy it. Where if you're like a Magic the Gathering player like I am and stuff, everyone kind of has to have the same kind of wallet competitiveness unless you're playing Commander or Pauper or a cheaper format. Even Commander is getting expensive now. Horned Owl players need minimum a player handbook. Exactly. But if you have a friend, that's willing to lend it to you so you can make your characters and read up on stuff. It's a very cheap hobby. Again, I just when I was in college, again, I had friends that would go. They were part of like it was called the gaming club, where it was all the D&D guys, and they would do LARPing too, which was I was not a fan of that. Let me tell you, looking that was kind of when you're in college. Let's just say you don't want to pretend you know the guys who who do the LARPing, but but it's just it's a hobby that because it's cheap, the fans are going like, don't talk like that. And look, you have the D&D movie, so that's going to try to create iconic characters. And then when you create those iconic characters, then you can make merchandising of those characters. And now you have merchandising of those characters. Now you could continuously create merchandise of those characters because now you have something that's iconic that you could attach yourself to. D&D had iconic monsters, iconic stuff like that, but never on a mainstream level. So I'm pretty sure Hasbro's hoping that D&D movie does well, so they could. I mean, look, they're marketing a gelatinous cube as a selling point, So I'm pretty sure even Hasbro, in a lot of ways, isn't sure how this is going to turn out if they're, relying on a gelatinous cube as a marketing selling point. Horned Owl GMs need minimum player's handbook, DM handbook, monster manual, campaign, additional option. Yeah, the typical. You get it in a box set. Might run you like $120 depending on what version it was back in the day. And then you roll. You roll. Michael Koo with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Michael Koo, with the $10 super chat. Me paying it back. No questions being asked. Well then, Michael, pick a non YouTube member question, and I will read it. Pick one, Michael. I got to let that $10 go to someone. David Cabal, what's up, David? What's up, brother? T-Formers 2002 with the super chat, $5. We still need a new blue Bacchus. That would be good. Yeah, blue. You know what though? If we get a Crossblades Pretender homage, we'll get a blue Bacchus because that's the mold sharing. I mean, the reason why we got all those Thunder Wings and stuff like that, not Thunder Wings, Black Shadows were because of Thunder Wings. So we'll get one. We'll get one. Titans Return Black Shadow. Crazy that we never gotten an update from his older Pretender. Well, again, Crossblades. When we get a Crossblades, and Crossblades, if I remember correctly, was a trademark that Hasbro had for quite a while. Like even modern. When was the last time they used Crossblades? It's obviously it's probably expired now, but it was recently they probably had it. I want to say 2000, 2009, 2010, they had a Crossblades. So it's a possibility. It's there. Horned Owl, did I mention anyone needing dice? Yes, if you need them, but any gamer already has plenty, so kind of going it by default. You know what I got? I'm going to give a shout out to Mikey and Louie. They made these 3D printed Autobot and Decepticon life counters. You could you turn the back there. These are 3D printed. They're really cool. We grabbed the Decepticon one. I have a whole bunch of these because when I play my Transformer TCG or Magic the Gathering, these are really cool. 3D printed. Beasts Studios. Got to give them a shout out because they're a cool bunch of dudes and dudettes. David Cabal playing King of Fighters 97 right now. Who are you maining, David Cabal? In King of Fighters 97, I would use Kim Kapwan, Mai Shimaru, and 97. I wouldn't use it. I think Iori has the infinite combo with 97, which is if you're in desperation mode, you could shoot your ground super, and then you could do it, and then as it's going, you could charge and do it continuously over and over. I think that was 97. Yeah, 97 you could do that. 98, I think they nixed it. Can you tell that I used to play a lot of fighting games in the arcades? Yeah, see, Kim Kaplan is amazing, isn't he? Even you're using Kim, Ryo, and Terry. Terry Bogard's okay too. Rising Knuckle. Who else? Oh no, I use Athena. I use Athena in 97. So I'd use Athena. I use Athena, Mai, and then Kim Kaplan would be my ender. Because she had a really good air down backwards Hadouken kick. Good stuff. King of Fighters rules, man. King of Fighters is good. When the whole world was going crazy and all these companies were scared, King of Fighters and SNK was still doing all the good stuff. Horned Owl, those life counters are awesome. They'd go great with a TFRPG. Where did you get them? Bin Studios. I don't have the slide. Mikey and Louie, are you in the chat? If you're not in the chat, Horned Owl will contact me. I'll direct you to them. It's BYNT Studios. I don't know if their complete 3D printing website is up, but I could direct you directly to them and they could make a whole bunch for you. They made a stack of them for me. Like, look, got a whole bunch of Autobot ones. Eh? And I got a whole bunch of Decepticons ones. They're so cool. They're so cool. And like, they're very simple, 3D printed. The creativity of the world. I am in awe of. I am in awe of it. What's Goober up to? I'll answer Goober's question. That'll be Michael Koo's question. Will be Goober's question because Goober pops in here once in a while. Paul Goobernichuk, the legendary Goober. Do you think Hasbro will be making Snarl and Swoop for the Studio Series 86 line? Oh, 200%. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That's pretty much it. It's a matter of when. There's Michael Koo. I think the Snarl will probably come before the Swoop, and it's just a matter if they have that slot. So, like I said, invest in your Dinobots now because people are going to regret it later. Michael Koo says, question Protoman for my super chat from Airy Nuts. What repaint could we see used from the currently known Legacy Evolution figures? Oh, I don't know. Practically everything. Use your imagination. Let's go with let's see, what did we get from Legacy Evolution? So we have Hot Shot, right? So Armada Hot Shot, we'll get the Hot Rod colors Hot Shot, we'll get the Smokescreen colors. We could get which was, I believe, also a Shattered Glass homage. We could get the Drench colors on Hot Shot. So that's what right there with Hot Shot, you could do that. Then you got Lio Convoy, aka Lio Prime. That one you got Galva Lio Convoy, Green Lio Convoy, Black Lio Convoy, Flash Lio Convoy, which is the clear version. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Obviously vanilla color. So that right there, you got a whole bunch. Tarn's a tough one. Tarn's going to be something that they're probably going to retool or repaint. We might get a new bludgeon out of Tarn or something. I could see being done. Like they'll do an extensive retool, and we'll get, because when you get a tank in a Voyager class, unless you're doing a Megatron or you're doing a you're doing like a bludgeon or something. There's only so many you could do. Maybe they could take Tarn and turn him into Flame. Flame was a super obscure UK Transformer character who had turned into a tank. Maybe they'll do him. He kind of has like a hot rod color scheme to him. So they could do Flame. Who am I forgetting? Throw some others at me. Who else was in there from Legacy Evolution? There's a bunch. There's a bunch. Purple Lion. How much time we got? We got 7 minutes left? Oh, damn. How fast did we pass today? Wow. Jeez. Really cooking today, let me tell you. Let me tell you, get your super chats in now, ladies and gentlemen. Horned Owl says, thanks, Proto. I'll contact you via Discord. Awesome. Well, and then especially in the Discord, because Mikey and Louie are in the Discord, so they'll be able to hook you up. They do some amazing stuff. Louis is no joke. Like his 3D printing is incredible. Like the stuff that he does. He sent me like these. It's kind of ironic. He sent me stuff that's almost on the same kind of level as action figures from Super 7, but he did Transformer ones. He did Megatron, he did Soundwave, Blaster, the Seeker Jets, and I believe Shockwave was the last one he gave me. I took photos, I put them on the Instagram over there. Lizard Sphere X, what's up, Lizard Sphere X? They could turn Tarn into the Fallen. That's a good one. I didn't think of that. Could do the Fallen with Tarn. I want a really good Fallen toy though, because like you could barely see him. There he is over there at the tip of my finger. That's the original titanium one they did back in the day, and I loved that Fallen. I like that Dreamwave War Within Fallen. I'd like to get another shot at that one again being done. Straxus, there's another good one too. Yeah, could do Straxus. You know, Goober. Can anyone hook Goober up with a Studio Series Leader Class Grimlock at non secondary market prices? Um, Well, that's look. I said that in my top 5 Transformers of 2022 with Wendell with Jaws D. I was saying like because Jaws D was pointing out his Slag/Slug one, and I was saying like, watch, I'm telling you, all of those Dinobots are going to explode in value in the secondary market in like 5 years, and already we're seeing it with Grimlock. It's already getting crazy. Already getting crazy. That's what happens when it leaves retail. What you have is it comes into retail. You have retail price, goes up a little bit because there's people scalping initially. Then it kind of evens out a little bit as like the retail newness cools off. But then when it leaves allocation and it leaves distribution, and then it's a retired product, retired, not in distribution anymore, not on shelving, isn't even in dead space shelving, like some store like a Zeller's back in the day that would never change stock for like 6 months. Once it leaves that, now you're relying on the secondary market and its population report. And if the population of sealed complete Grimlocks is really small, and it's a leader class, which means 2 per case of 4 figures, 2 per case. How many liters get bought per store? Small population holds its value. That's how it is. Roman Shillings, I would love to see a leader class Octane. You and me both. I love Octane. I love the fact that he's a aircraft carrier and can make some really cool kind of ideas. I liked his Voyager because that one came with those little jets, the little aerial bot jet pieces that you could put on him, which was pretty cool. So we'll see what happens with that. But I would love to get a new Octane. But the thing is, if you get a new Octane, then you're opening it up to the other Autobots too. Because then you're like, oh, well, then are we going to get a leader class Springer? Are we going to get a leader class Sandstorm? That's where it gets a little cray cray. That's where it gets a little nuts. T-Formers 2002. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, exactly, could have hooked them up. That's how it works, my friend. What happens is it comes out, then it evens out, and that was in the case in your case where it was evening out, and then it all goes away. Oh, I mixed up Broadside and Octane. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Octane, I don't know. Octane, uh, Octane is just like I feel like his Voyager class really showed how if they did a leader, I don't know, The chrome on the side of the vehicle and stuff. Like, how would they reinvent that to make it good? I don't know. I don't know. Octane's always been the weird one. Octane is always the weird one because like him and Blitzwing are two where one mode always suffers. Like Astro Train always seems to get away with it. Astro Train has decent robot mode, decent alt modes. Octane and Blitzwing, they always have it tough. Springer is always a mess. It's like helicopter mode and car mode might as well just be helicopter mode without the helicopter blade, you know? And I'm not thinking of Tidal Wave. Trust me, I made that mistake, but it's more just I'm tired right now. I didn't think straight there. I should know that. That's silly of me. Shame on me to even make that mistake. Shame on me. My brain's on autopilot right now. Timmy K. Poindexter, Esquire Jr. the third. Hi, y'all. How you doing? So even Aaron Archer, Octane, meh. Exactly. It's a tough one. Octane is, and you have to understand, Octane was when you look at the Diaclone history and the old Takara designers. Blitzwing and Astro Chain were designed by Takara back in the late 70s, early 80s of that car robot Diaclone Microman era. Octane was made much later, and that's why when you put them next to each other, like the originals, he has a very different aesthetic. He's much larger, much more pronounced. Um, and same thing with all those Autobot ones. Those Autobot ones were made later. So he's a very weird design. Very weird. And people sometimes dig him because he was kind of like an in-betweener character in season 3. He's like, oh, he's kind of a good guy, but still a Decepticon, and he's friends with Sandstorm. Yeah, sure. But um let's see. Tom Laney says Sandstorm got it right on alt modes. Robot mode still suffers. Yeah, well, see, Sandstorm too. It's like helicopter kind of fat, dune buggy mode kind of suggestive, and robot mode kind of meh. I kind of liked his Thrilling 30 version though. That was a good one, but that was a heavy retool. But again, those third like triple changers are always difficult. They're always difficult. And we are near the closing time of the podcast. We're near the end. Titan's Return Tidal Wave was a triple changer, and he had a triple aircraft carrier, so obviously a repainted process. Yeah, well, that was the one that they did there. Everyone just wants a leader class, commander class, or big tidal wave. Tidal wave's got to be a big figure. Got to be a big figure. Anyways, guys, I think we are done for tonight. Just want to say thank you to everyone again who came tonight for the very first live stream of 2023. Again, I wanted to say a thank you first to my sponsors, Symbiote Studios, and to Seats and Hasbro for everything that they provide us. Even though I sometimes keep it real with Hasbro and the reality of the business, I still love the love and support that they give towards me and Ben from marketing and everything like that. You are good guys to me that are very patient with me keeping it real and keeping it transparent with the fandom. Thank you to the super chat people today, the YouTube members, the patrons. Again, if you want to be part of the Patreon, hit that Patreon button down there or join the join button for YouTube membership if you want to join that and be a green name on the side. Thank you to all the YouTube members today. I'll just read some now. Horned Owl, Michael Koo, Wizard Sphere X, Tom Laney, and anyone else who's going to pop up here. And do I see any YouTube members that are here? T Formers 2002, I see. We'll see if there's any others, but I know I saw a whole bunch of. Oh, there, Mark Morales is one. He's one too. Again, thank you all for coming. Hope you learned something today. Hope you had a good time. Hopefully, next week we'll probably see some brand new Transformer stuff from a Rise of the Beast kind of flavor. Let's just say there's going to be a lot more product leaking out this week. It's just a matter of when will it leak. That's all that I could really say about that. It's because I don't want to be the one to do it because I don't want to be that. And Aaron Archer. Go check out Aaron Archer stuff. Go check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Go check out everything. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Hope you had a great new year and a great holiday season. We're going into now, I guess, January and Chinese New Year and going into February with Valentine's Day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of everyone around you. It's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world. Don't let the negativity get to you and all the silliness of all the people that talk about all this crazy stuff on the Twitters and the Instagrams and all of that. Just enjoy life, enjoy Transformers, and enjoy everything. I'm out of here. As I always say, I'm going to go play some Nintendo Switch. I'm playing River City Girls 2 that just came out just a couple of weeks ago. Finally catching up on that. Good stuff, good stuff. Take care, everyone. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Peace.